takes him into fascinating worlds, which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Schold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Schold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
The economy of a country can be likened to the engine room of a factory, the place where the pistons stroke and the wheels turn. And, as with a factory, the end result of this exercise is a product. In the case of a factory, it might be an item of clothing or a food or some other product that make our lives satisfying. With an economy, the product is the aggregate of all the goods and services produced in the country, and it's identified by its monetary value as the gross domestic product, GDP. Gross meaning the sum total, and domestic meaning within your own environment. Economic terms can be difficult for the average Joe, but if we are to understand the workings of the national economy, we must have a grasp of these terms.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think,
wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good morning to you all and welcome to today. Today is Tuesday, the 23rd of September, 2025. I'm Pearson Bowen, and it's always wonderful to say good morning to all of you wherever you are. Thank you for joining us, particularly those of you on our streams on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, cbc.bb. You've made an extra effort to get up early to keep company with us. And so to you, we say thanks. Thanks for sharing the show. Thanks for talking among yourselves, but thanks for talking to us as well. And we encourage you to do so every single day. Remember, if you know of something or someone whose story we have to tell, you have to tell us about it. And you can do so by sending us an email. That email address is on your screen. It's morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and we thank you for reaching out and sharing with us indeed. It being the 23rd of September, it's also the birthday today of two Bowens. Two people I know who have the same last name, Bowen. One is my brother, Irwin. Irwin, my eldest brother, who's celebrating his birthday today. Congratulations to you, Irwin. And then there's another Bowen, but she lives in Nevis. Her name is Sonia Bowen. And so to you, Sonia, we would have worked together here in Barbados before you moved to Nevis. And so there you are, continuing to work. I know you're watching. And so to you, Sonia, we say good morning and happy birthday as well. So to everyone everywhere, welcome to today. Today we have a lot to get to because it being the 23rd, we're just about a week away from opening our borders between 4 Caricom member states for free movement. What does that mean? What does that look like? What are some of your questions that we want answers to? We shall do so when we have our conversations on Caricom in just a little while. This morning as well, we'll take a look at some of the pathways to tourism that our young people are taking. That's ahead of the upcoming State of the Tourism Industry Conference here in Barbados. And we're excited to meet a number of those young people who are leaping into the sphere of tourism. And we want to talk to them thus far about their journey and what it means to be a part of building an industry that is so integral to our economies in the region. We'll talk to them in just a little while. The annual Construction and Design Conference opens tomorrow. But today, we get to know more about what to expect and how we can also engage in that upcoming annual Construction and Design Conference. London, look out, Q in the Community is coming. And so we begin to whet your appetite to what to expect at Q in the Community London. We'll talk to the organizer and share with you just what it means to be a part of the Oakington House and to be out there in the big motherland to be a part of what's happening there too. So look out for the details as well. And today is the International Day of Sign Language. And so we'll be talking to the folks who we met yesterday, plus we'll be teaching you how to talk using sign language. So there's a lot to stick around to engage in, and so I want to encourage you to stay with us, share the show, share the love, tell others about us, and if you missed it today, you can watch it again at midnight here on TV8, or you can watch it at your convenience on our streams on YouTube or Facebook. But let's get started this morning by taking a look in our conversations on Caricom at October the 1st. And that's not a date to be dreaded at all. That's a date actually to be celebrated, because for the very first time in our lived history, we have an opportunity as peoples of the region to move freely, to live, work, and engage in a prosperous way in the businesses of the 4 particular islands. What are they? We'll share with you. We have with us in studio Barbados Ambassador to Caricom, His Excellency David Commichon. Good morning to you, Ambassador.
Morning, Pearson.
We are on the cusp of something life-changing for the region. And I want to start to talk about that in a moment. But we also have online joining us his counterpart from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Vincent and the Grenadines Ambassador to Caricom, His Excellency Alan Alexander. Good morning to you, Ambassador, as well.
Good morning, Pearson, and good morning, David. Nice to be here today on your program. Thank you.
It is so good to have you. I hope you're equally excited as we are in Barbados for what's happening.
Very excited. Very excited for October the 1st.
All right. And so, Ambassador Commichon, let's put all of this into context. We know this date is coming. And so we've been talking about this. This is the start of a move that has been long in thought and dream for lots of the people of the Caribbean. Give us the origin and bring us to now.
This is the Bible, Pearson. This is the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas establishing the Caribbean community, including the single market and economy. And when this treaty was revised, around about 2002, our governments put in Article 45, entitled Movement of Community Nationals. And it said, member states commit themselves to the goal of free movement of their nationals in the community. So back in 2002, we established this free movement as a goal. We are now, somewhat 23 years later, realizing that goal, making it concrete. And that decision was made by the heads that in 2023, at the Heads of Government Conference, they said, we are all going to commit to realizing this goal. And they gave themselves until the 31st of March 2024. Well, we did not meet that deadline. And at the last Heads of Government Conference in Jamaica in July, the question was asked, look, we have been trying to implement this thing for the last couple of years. Who is ready to go? And 4 countries put up their hands. Belize, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dominica, and Barbados. So we are the 4 pioneers. We said we are ready to go, and we will start on the 1st of October of this year. The free movement regime will therefore be limited just to those 4 countries. It is the nationals of those 4 countries that will have the right to move to either any one of the 4, to live indefinitely, to work without the need for a work permit. And so these 4 pioneers, we will establish the regime, and then in the months and years succeeding, the others will be free to join the regime that we have established and hopefully that we would have perfected.
We know, Ambassador Alexander, how excited Barbados and Barbadians are for this to get going. Talk to me about the feel and the temperature on the ground in St. Vincent and the Grenadines about this initiative starting October 1st.
Well, for one, Barbados have always been a very close sister island to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have a lot of persons from St. Vincent and the Grenadines who lives in Barbados, and so there's that big family connection. There is that family connection right there with Ambassador Comajong, who spent a number of his early years in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So St. Vincent and Barbados have always been connected. On the ground in St. Vincent, we are very much looking forward to this move. We're very much looking forward where we can, our people can get up. We can go to Barbados for vacation, for work, whatever it is, and know that we can do this freely. That as soon as we get there, come October 1st, we get an indefinite stamp in our passport, which tells us that we could enter and leave as we please, and we can work there without a work permit, and vice versa in terms of Barbadians coming to St. Vincent. So we just look at it as bringing that connection that we already had very much closer to Barbados.
In terms of readiness of your state and your states there in the OECS to begin this process, what have you been putting in place to be able to do so, to achieve this goal?
Well, we've been having a number of meetings between the 4 countries, just making sure that we cross all the T's, dot all the I's to make October the 1st come and everything is interacting smoothly, as smoothly as possible. So we've been having a number of meetings with all our stakeholders on the ground here in St. Vincent, our stakeholders in Barbados, Dominica, and Belize, where we have the health department, the health ministries, the education ministries, the immigration departments, impacts. We've been doing a lot of meetings just to make sure that we're all very much prepared and ready for this to happen. So come October 1st, I know for sure that St. Vincent and Grenadines, we will be ready to invite our brothers and sisters from the 4 participating, from the 4 participating member states to come here to St. Vincent and vice versa, and everything moves as smoothly as possible.
Ambassador Comajong, in pulling this all together, because naturally this is so revolutionary. We are accustomed to moving from one state to another with our passports, standing at immigration, receiving our stamps, you have to leave in 6 months. That kind of thing. This is now changing all of what we know, the paradigm that we have always known. Talk to me about what now steps are put in place to move away from that old way of understanding into this new way of free movement.
Well, it's really about establishing a very special relationship between the 4 countries.
Yes.
Because think about it, of all the countries in the world, these 3 countries will now become Barbados's closest and most intimate partners. No other country in the world, the citizens of no other country in the world will have the privileges that the citizens of Belize, St. Vincent, and Dominica have in relation to Barbados. And likewise, they're rolling out the red carpet for Barbadians too, So it goes in both directions. We are establishing this very close relationship. And I do not think we could have come up with better countries to start with, because as Alan has said, Barbadians and Vincentians have a long history. I would like to remind Barbadians or inform Barbadians who might not be aware, during those terrible years of slavery, when the enslaved Barbadian escaped the plantation here in Barbados, in order to preserve the freedom that he or she got, they had to get off the island because the whole of Barbados was taken over with plantations. So they had to get on a little raft, a little boat, and they had to head to the west, to our nearest neighbor. Our nearest neighbor is St. Vincent, and that's where they headed. Literally hundreds of Barbadians who had escaped the slave plantations headed for St. Vincent. So truth be told, a large segment of the black population of St. Vincent comes ancestrally from Barbadians. And then, a supreme irony, when there was a period of time when the sugar plantation system in Barbados kind of went into decline, many of the white Barbadians of the planter class made their way to St. Vincent and became to work in the St. Vincent sugar industry. So we have long-standing ties. And so many Vincentians have come to Barbados and have performed yeoman service in Barbados. I mean, we can think of people like Sir Arnott Cato, who was president of the Senate in Barbados. We can think of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Association of Barbados, Vincentians who live here in Barbados. And as Alan said, let me put my cards on the table. I was born in St. Vincent. My father, Reverend Comishong, served in St. Vincent. I was born there. I left at the age of 6. So, Pearson, it is all what we are doing, really. We are sending a message to ourselves, to the rest of Caricom, to the world. Look, we are not afraid of our Caribbean brothers and sisters. We understand that we are all kith and kin. We came across on the same ship, just some were dropped off in different islands. We understand that the world we live in today demands unity. Unity. If we are to succeed in this world, we have to come together and unify whatever resources we have. So this is the beautiful enterprise that we are embarking upon on the 1st of October.
And I think we are all in agreement totally with you. We are excited for the start of this, but the question always is how and will it work? Will it work the same as happens now, where again I fly with my passport, I have an immigration officer who stamps my passport and so forth. So I want to break that down so that everyone understands the process and not assume, or first of all, let me ask, can anyone from any background move from one to the other easily?
Yeah, well, all citizens, will have the right to move. The grandparents, the working age people, the children, even the dependents, even a citizen of the 3 countries, they may have a non-national wife, or they may have non-national dependent children. They are welcomed as well. When we begin on the 1st of October, we will still require the possession of a passport. Now, we want to move beyond the passport. We want to move to people being able to move with things like a national ID card, for example.
Yes.
However, we are at the stage where, for example, Barbados, Barbados has a very advanced digital ID and so forth. That is not the case with some of the other pioneering member states. So we are going to be working towards making sure that all 4 of the member states come up to the same level in terms of national IDs, and so that in the near future, we trust that it would not be restricted to people with passports. You can probably move with a national ID. But to start, we agreed that we would start with the need for a passport. But once you're a citizen of any of those countries, you come into Barbados, you will be automatically given indefinite stay. And in Barbados, we no longer stamp passports, but you will be given a digital stamp. In other words, the immigration officer at the airport will designate that digitally that this person has indefinite stay in Barbados. That information will be sent off to all of the relevant Barbadian entities that need to have that information, and the entrant will be told, if now you have indefinite stay, but if you intend to live indefinitely and to work in Barbados, you're required to go and register at the Ministry of Labor, Social Security, and the third sector. Because what we want people who intend to work or to live indefinitely to go in and register, so that we put them on track for getting their national ID. We put them on track for registering in the National Insurance Scheme and registering under the Barbados Revenue Authority, so that they then have the instruments that they need to really function properly in Barbados. And they will be given, they will be guaranteed, look, if you will be guaranteed access to primary and secondary education on the same terms as a citizen of Barbados. You will be guaranteed access to emergency and primary health care on the same terms as a citizen of Barbados. Yes.
Ambassador Alexander, on your end, similar? And what are you doing to prepare your border control people to adjust to this new regime?
So, first off, I want to say that, remember, St. Vincent and the Grenadines being a part of the OECS, we have had full free movement between the OECS member states since 2011. So this is something, it's not very new to us. We have been doing it for quite some time. So our border agents and so on have a very, very clear understanding of how or what to expect, and in terms of the stamps and so on. So these things have been put in place already between us. So between Dominic and St. Vincent, it will continue as is. The only difference now would be that we added now Barbados and Belize to this. So we are very much prepared. We're very much prepared. Even in the Belize context, as you would know, a lot of our Garifuna brothers and sisters are from Belize. Are residing from Belize. So we have now been able to pull that whole connection together, bring them now closer to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, their motherland, where they could now come to St. Vincent and come and go as they desire. No 6-month stamp. They could reside in St. Vincent, they could work in St. Vincent. So we are very much on track and very much prepared at our border, in terms of our ministries of education and Ministry of Health, in describing the things that Ambassador Kamajong has just done. So we're ready, Pearson.
We're ready. I like that term. We're ready. We'll take a break right here, but we'll come back to see how much more ready we are as a people as well, and the systems to be able to really effect a very positive movement of free movement of people from October the 1st. Back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're having our conversations on Caricom this morning, looking at October the 1st, when we all, among the 4 member states, are able to move freely, live and work and coexist even so. And I know a number of you have questions as to how does this really work in the context of security. Ambassadors, we have Ambassador David Commichon, Ambassador Alexander from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. How do we manage this given, crime? And the reality is that we do have people who want to slip through systems. What guardrails are there to protect citizens of that kind of situation?
Well, we have a very strong intelligence infrastructure in place. But first of all, we need to state that the Caribbean Court of Justice has decreed that there are two overarching principles that run through all of the freedom of movement regimes of Caricom. And they're these. One, that a Caricom member state always has the right to refuse entry to any Caricom national if that person is deemed to be a national security threat. That is, if they have some kind of criminal background that really marks them off as a threat. And secondly, they have a right to refuse an entrant if that person is likely to become a charge on the public purse. That is, likely to become a welfare case. So the idea is that we want the free movement, but we want it in a wholesome, healthy way, where people coming in will be actually coming in to make a positive contribution to the society and not to be a detriment. So these principles will apply. Now, back in 2007, Caricom set up an institution called Caricom Impacts, Caricom Implementation Agency for Crime and Security. It's headquartered in Trinidad and Tobago. Wow. It has a sub-agency in Barbados called the Joint Regional Communications Center. It's right there in Wilde. And Impacts has the duty to collect all the intelligence surrounding security, people who have criminal backgrounds. And one of the services that Impacts and the Joint Regional Communication Center offers the Caricom governments is the Advanced Passenger Information System. So before a plane load of passengers or a boat load of passengers enters Barbadian territory, our immigration and law enforcement agencies are provided with information by Impacts as to whether anybody on that plane, has a criminal background, criminal record that they should be scrutinizing. So we want to assure Barbadians that system is in place to provide for the security of our people. And we already have the 6-month automatic stay. So for many years now, all Caricom citizens, with the exception of Haitians who still require visas, have been granted a 6-month stay, an automatic six-month stay. But we have been managing that. We have been managing this issue of criminals moving through those regional security arrangements. So the point I'm making is nothing new to us. Right. It has been in place for some considerable time now, and we are satisfied that we have it covered. The other thing is this: Bajans should be aware. We talk about fear of criminals. The Caricom country with the lowest crime rate is Dominica. So just to bear that in mind, that these countries, I would say Belize probably has a similar crime rate to Barbados. Dominica has by far the lowest within the region. St. Vincent is probably a little bit higher than Barbados. I know they're working on that. But suffice to say that there's no really serious crime problem among these 4 Caricom member states.
Ambassador Alexander, oftentimes the conversation among the people is the concern about the drain on the social services. You're bringing people in and they're not contributing to, but they're using our services. Is that a similar conversation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines? And what are some of the, if so, what are some of the responses that are being given?
Well, yes, initially it would be one of the concerns of persons, because I think when people hear the subject of full free movement, people are expecting that um, plane loads and boat loads of people will be just moving and occupying, at once and so on. And we have had the experience with the OECS where it's not like that. I mean, people move due to necessity, more than likely. And we have not seen that major movement. Well, there are movements, not in a way that has caused any great strain on our social services, and we don't expect that will happen. But we are putting things in place to ensure that that's being monitored. The registration process that Ambassador Comington spoke about, that helps us in terms of our future planning. So when people come and they intend to stay and work, then they register, and we have an idea of how many persons yearly have come to or have left the country. So it helps us to plan better for the social services. But we don't expect it, using our experience in OECS, we don't expect it to be a major issue.
Also concerned, Alexander, about you coming here to take my job. There's so few jobs available, and suddenly there's an influx of other skills coming in from the region who are perhaps better skilled in some instances, and now my job is under threat. Has that been a part of the conversation as well as we prepare for October the 1st?
That definitely has been a part of the conversation, and it's obviously it's a human instinct that you would have that concern. But I see that, I mean, St. Vincent and Grenadines, for instance, we are still very much emerging in a lot of areas. We are doing a lot of developmental projects currently to push our country forward. We have new hotels and so on coming on stream. We have just in the last stages of completing a brand new port. So there will be opportunities. There will be opportunities that locals could take advantage of, and there will be opportunities, I'm sure, that other highly skilled person might be able to access. So while that might be a concern, I don't see it being a major problem at this point in time. But there's something definitely will be, and the whole process will be monitored, so that we have an idea of what's going on in front of us.
Ambassador Commichon, you mentioned the schools, because people move as families as well, and the opportunity for them to not just set route, but to have their children also comfortably accommodated within systems. How do you see that working?
Yes. Students will be accommodated in the government primary and primary and secondary school system. So you just go into the Ministry of Education. There'll be a registration process in the Ministry of Education. There's certain documents you'll be required to present, including your report from the last school that you attended in the member state that you moved from, and and based on we are getting the education authorities in the 4 countries to really share information with each other, so that they have a good sense of like the institutions in each country, so that once students come in and register, they would have enough information to be able to know which school in Barbados they should transfer them to. And if they're in doubt, then they could ask the student to sit a placement test, and based on the results of that test, they would determine which school and which grade to fit them into, and so forth. So we don't anticipate many problems with that. Barbados has had a declining population, let me put it this way. Barbados has not been naturally reproducing its population since 1980. Mm-hmm. Were it not for some incoming migration over the last 40 years, our population would really be declining. The number of students in our primary school system has declined, whereas the number of teachers have not declined. So we do not anticipate, and there will be modest numbers, Pearson, to be very honest. I mean, if we look at the Barbados Accreditation Council numbers coming in from those 3 countries coming into Barbados in the Caricom Skilled National Program, we're really talking very modest numbers. I mean, I looked at figures over the last 3 years from St. Vincent, probably a total of 89, maybe 30 per year. Dominica, 50, 16 per year. Belize, 4. One per year, right? So we're talking really fairly modest numbers that we will easily be able to accommodate in our education system and in our public health system. But just on that issue of jobs, people need to understand that an economy is not a zero-sum game, like there's one fixed set of jobs. If somebody comes and takes and gets a job in Barbados, it means that there's one less job for Bajans. An economy really does not work like that, If in fact, we do need in Barbados, we need an influx of young, economically active citizens who can work, who can produce, who can contribute to the economy. In contributing to the economy, you will also generate additional jobs in the economy, but you will make contributions to national insurance, you will make contributions to income tax, and you will help us with a big problem we have in Barbados, which is that we have an increasingly aging population, more and more pensioners, and we have less and less economically active people helping to sustain that aging population. So this will help in a little way to alleviate that problem. Of course, there are many other things we're going to have to do to solve that problem, but this is a step in the right direction.
Ambassador Alexander, because we only have a couple minutes left, what do you see to be the real, true benefits of this regime we're going into now, the free movement of people between these 4 nations?
Well, we're doing firstly what we have signed on to in the Caribbean community. Getting the islands to come together as one Caribbean, allowing each other to, be our brothers and naturally be our brothers and sisters, where we can move freely between the island without the harassment of, at the border, I could only spend 6 months, things of this nature, making it really a true Caribbean community where we can just interact, we can work, we can, we could be brothers and sisters in a really more meaningful way. So I see this being very beneficial to, firstly, for the 4 countries who have participated. As I said, Dominica and St. Vincent, we have been doing freedom of movement through OECS. So we are very much happy to bring on board Barbados and our brothers and sisters, our Garifuna brothers and sisters in Belize, on board here now as the first 4 countries to take a jump start at the full free movement of Caricom.
So exciting times ahead. And so, Ambassador Commissioner, we have to leave it there. But I know this is a conversation to be continued because time is as it is. And so as we mature as people of the region, taking the leap of faith and taking the chance to go live elsewhere and explore the opportunities is also important. Is there one place we can go where we can get all of the answers that we need to the questions we may have?
We're going to be providing a leaflet for incoming migrants at the airport. So once they're coming to the airport, they're going to get all the information they require. And likewise, St. Vincent and Belize and Dominica will do that for Barbadian entrance. Over the next week or so, our GIS will be doing a full public information campaign. As Alan said, the governmental officials, all the stakeholders, we have been working very hard. We have been having multiple meetings among ourselves. We have the Caricom Secretariat, Caricom Impacts, to make sure that all of us are ready for that 1st October deadline. So our citizens should know that even if you feel that you have not heard enough from your governmental people about this impending regime, it's because a lot of work has been going on behind the scenes to get ready. But we have earmarked these remaining days for a comprehensive public education program. In fact, I think I'll be on the CBC Evening News tonight, for example, just to give one example. So we'll be doing evening news, we'll be doing the call-in programs, public service announcements. So by the 1st of October, Barbadians will be very, very well informed about the entire regime.
All right, so in other words, stay tuned for much more indeed. And we want to continue these kinds of conversations on Caricom right here on CBC TV8. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ambassador David Kamishang, Barbados Ambassador to Caricom, and the Ambassador to Caricom from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, His Excellency Alan Alexander as well. To you, I say thank you. As we continue to sensitize Barbadians, Vincentians, Dominicans and Belizeans to the possibilities that exist now by free movement between ourselves, and then wait for our brothers and sisters of the other brothers and sisters of Caricom to join us so we can all experience what is really a beautiful space on earth. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pearson.
You're welcome. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One. Your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Books open. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
18 minutes now to 7 o'clock. There's smiles in the studio right now because we are all equally excited about tourism, but I'm excited about what young people are doing in tourism. They're doing it for themselves, they're doing it for their destination as well. And yesterday we met this young man, Nicholas Scott, who, as you know, is technical assistant with the Caribbean Tourism Organization as we get ready for SOTIC coming up very, very soon. And he's brought along with him these two lovely young ladies, one from Combermere, one from the Law School. We're having the school battle for just a moment. Jasmine Jones, you're interning with the BTMI. But you came by way of the University of the West Indies, right?
Yes, sir.
Got to talk to you, girl. Rihanna Eastman, who is administrative and project assistant in the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association. Good to have you all.
Thank you.
Yes, we know you, Nicholas. Jasmine, let's talk a little bit about this because you're interning with the BTMI. How has that been for you?
It's been excellent. I had an amazing time so far. I started last year in the summer and they called me back this year. And now I'm in the sports department alone. I was in marketing and PR as well last year, but now I'm just in sports. And there's a lot of events happening, a lot of behind the scenes of how events are planned and stuff. I enjoy it a lot.
You didn't think that tourism was all of that, right?
I did not. It is very interesting. It's very fun as well. It could be tiring because you have weekend work and then into the midnight during the week. Work again the next day. Is very tiring, but it's really fun too.
At the university, what were you studying?
Hospitality and tourism management.
So this ties in beautifully with everything that you're doing. And so the opportunity given to you at the BTMI to intern in the way that you've been interning and they call you back.
Yeah.
That means, one, that you were quite good. And secondly, you know she's doing something right. and that you have exhibited for them the passion for tourism.
Yeah.
What's your view of tourism generally?
That's a hard question. Yeah. I would say
it's exciting.
It is exciting. It is very. I love to see and meet new people from different cultures. I love that we are sharing our culture internationally. I love how we are exhibiting Barbados, not internationally. That's all I could really say right now.
Would this be something that you would recommend to your friends? This career in tourism?
I definitely would. Not to everyone. If you're not open to working all the time, like in the weekends and into the night, I would not recommend that. If you're just a 9-to-5 person, stick to go away from tourism. But if you're okay with that, tourism is good. If you're okay with meeting new people, talking to people, if you have a great personality, an open personality, tourism is for you.
Have you been able to find that tourism is really in everything we do as a society?
It is. I never thought, I wasn't studying tourism in the aspect of sports. As I told you, I'm in the sports department. So now that I have experience in the sports, I never thought of it from that aspect. I was like, oh, you just scoring a goal, okay, cool. Sports, okay, cool. But now that I'm seeing that we're actively bringing people into the island for the purpose of sports, it's like, okay. And wellness and ecotourism, so many niches. It is very interesting.
It's phenomenal, girl. I'm telling you, it's a big industry, but it has a big punch as well because it means so much to our economy and to the livelihood of people. I mean, every single soul I could think of has been impacted in a very significant way by tourism. And so, Rihanna, let's talk a little bit about you now because you work in the BHTA.
Yes, please.
And so, what is it that you do? Describe for me what you do generally.
Okay, my role is administrative and project assistant. So I assist the members and the stakeholders within the tourism industry with regards to licenses. If they need help with any, issues, we will advocate for them through the government and also private stakeholders from there. I also assist with the day-to-day operations with the BHTA team. We also assist with projects. Right now we're working with the Culinary Team, Barbados Culinary Team, because as guys may know, or you may not know, we have Taste of the Caribbean coming here in November. So we're currently working on that project to help the national chefs of the country to just prepare for that.
Before you got involved in tourism and in from the hotel perspective as well, did you think it was all of that? That it included all of this that you're doing?
No, honestly.
So you've learned a lot.
I learned a lot. And my background is not in tourism.
What's your background in?
My background is in social sciences. However, I did Cape Tourism at the law school. So that was just the initial start in tourism. Because many persons may think tourism is just the front desk, just a chef. But there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. For instance, you have marketing, you have even accounts, as simple as that may seem. You have agriculture, as Jasmine would have said, sports. So it's more than just the front desk and sun and sea, I would say.
If you hear what Nicholas does, it will surprise you. Because Nicholas, your function is with the CT, you're working with the Caribbean Tourism Organization, which is even broader than some of the organizations for which they work. So talk to me a little bit about your entry in and what you have now been exposed to.
So my entry into tourism started back in 2017. I actually was studying at the Barbados Community College. I was doing languages for business and tourism. And during the summer, my mother was like, you are not going to be home the entire summer doing nothing. So she was like, you are going to go to every hotel in St. Lawrence Gap and see if you could get an internship. And I actually got an internship at 3 hotels, and I only spent like 2-3 days at each one. And that got me insight into what tourism is, mostly frontline. But I also got to do a lot of in the background as well. So I was in the reservations. So even though they are not necessarily frontline, they're still dealing with the guests as well. So after that, it was like, okay, cool. I think I could do this. I got the personality for it. It's not too difficult, but it takes a lot of work still. And then I continued my studies on to tourism and travel at the Hospitality Institute. And then I really got into it. I was working with St. James Travel and Tours because my mother was like, all right, we're going to get you fully into it. So I started working there as a airport representative. And then that just went full swing, like fully in-depth into tourism. I was a tour guide at Foster and Ince, and I was also tour guiding with St. James Travel and Tours. I then continued my studies at the University of West Indies. I studied international tourism management. And that is when my internship would have started through the University of West Indies. But I actually reached out on my own to the Caribbean Tourism Organization. But I was initially supposed to go to the BHTA, and that didn't happen. So I was like, okay, CTO it is. So I was really excited. A little hesitant too, but excited for it. Because I wasn't sure if a 9 to 5 was for me. I was like, I got to sit on a desk the whole time. But I got to do a bit of both. I still get to engage with people because I do a lot of presentations. I get to do things like this. So I get to do the back end and I get to do the front end as well. So that's how I really got into it.
You just inspired Jasmine. You should have seen how she was looking at you. Jasmine is thinking.
We actually studied together.
Yeah,
you did?
Yeah, we have been in
BCC
several
and
classes together. So
Yeah.
we got our history in
so
tourism.
so she understands.
Yeah, she knows it.
But Jasmine was getting excited about your journey. What excited by Nicholas's journey that you thought, whoa, I really would love to do that too?
I'm more inspired. Even in UE, when I would hear him talking about all the things that he's done, I was always inspired by everything that he's talked about. And he has also helped me in my journey of studies. And we had, when I didn't understand a topic, he was there to assist me. I don't know if he remembers, but he would make sure you understand this. Okay, cool. But yeah, I really admire his drive.
You admire his drive. And so we're getting ready for SOTIC here in Barbados, Rihanna. And so let's talk a little bit about that, because the hotel, you're a partner in tourism. You're providing accommodation and other features as well, along with the BTMI that's helping with the marketing and getting it all together, and then the Caribbean Tourism Organization that's pulling this all together. So you're all partners in one thing called tourism. Talk to me about what you would hope that SOTIC is able to expose young people like yourself as it relates to the industry.
I hope that it inspires young people to realize, yes, you have the standard job as a doctor or lawyer, but tourism offers a wide variety of different careers that you can honestly go down the path. Like, for instance, as simple as marketing and sports tourism, as Jasmine said, if you take, for instance, CPL. As simple as that might seem, sports tourism also plays a very important role in that, where we have the different countries taking part, and then travel, and then we have businesses, involving in that. So just to get young people to realize, yes, there's a life outside of, the average job. Tourism offers a wide variety of stuff.
A wide variety of stuff indeed. And that's the whole thing to explore, right, Jasmine, to get to know what is involved in the career in tourism. You can, yes, be a room attendant. Yes, you can be a bartender. Yes, you can be all of those things. You can own your hotel and run a hotel, or you can do so much more in terms of management and getting the whole systems together to work. And then, as Nicholas has been doing, working from the regional perspective to influence what's happening in destinations and the like and so forth. To get into it, what did you have to do to enter to this kind of study?
This is not a long, so I will make it short.
I got time to do
When I was 16, it was time to apply for BCC. I had no idea what I wanted to do at all. I knew I was interested in theater, but my mom kind of nudged me in the direction of hospitality. I was like, hospitality. But when I went to do my interview at BCC, they asked me what I like, and I was talking about travel, and I was talking about travel. I love to travel, and they were like, I think based off of our conversation, you'll be more suited for tourism and travel. I was like, that makes sense. So I got into it, and I actually enjoyed it, and I was grateful that I ended up in tourism and travel rather than hospitality. And from there, I was just full-blown tourism. But as a child, I never was interested in tourism from the point of view of the DMO, the Destination Management Organization. I was always interested as a tourist. I always wanted to travel.
Yeah.
So now it's like, well, from seeing the other perspective, it's like, this is fun too. I still get to meet people. I still get to learn different cultures and stuff. I've made a lot of friends at BTMA so far, from all over the world. So I'm having a great time in tourism.
I like your story. I love your story. You're having a great time in tourism. Yes. And that's the whole point. You know, yes, it's work. But hello, you're going to meet some interesting people. You go to some lovely destinations. You engage with some movers and shakers in the industry. And that's what SOTIC is providing as well.
Yeah.
I know the Innovation Hub is coming up.
Yes.
Again, walk me through that. So I want the young people watching today to see that you really need to show up at State of the Tourism Industry Conference at Hilton Hotel. Talk to them about what that Innovation Hub is about.
So Innovation Hub, again, is for anybody. It's for persons interested in technology, persons who want to develop their businesses but get technology involved in their business. So it's for you to come and experience what there is on offer when it comes to augmented reality, virtual reality, and artificial intelligence. So if you haven't been able to have a hands-on experience with it, you're able to come and experience that firsthand. And that's in partnership with Wingwheel Media, like I said yesterday, one of our allied members. But essentially, they're just going to be displaying what they have been doing in the Caribbean so far. So there are going to be some examples of some of the products they have developed for some of our member countries. And you get to see how you could possibly implement that as well. And we're going to be taking that data, so all that information that you get to take part in, we're going to see how you feel about it. We're going to see, you know, if you like one part of it or another, how can we develop it a little bit better to make it unique for the Caribbean? Because even though we have our beauty, we have our people, we need to see how we can maintain that and, you know, display it for the world. So everyone comes to the Caribbean. We want people to come to us. So that's essentially what the Innovation Hub is going to be about at SOTIC.
When is it and where is it?
So the Innovation Hub is going to be from the 1st to the 2nd, but SOTIC is going to be from the 1st to the 3rd. So that. And you can find out more information on our website, sotic.onecaribbean.org.
All right. So 1st and 2nd, Hilton Hotel.
Hilton Hotel.
They're just walk in, or are you in the ballroom?
So we are going to be in the foyer. Once you walk in, we're going to have persons to direct you. You're going to see our banners. You're going to be able to find us. And once you're walking about, you're going to find us somehow.
I think this is an opportunity for teachers of school's children.
Yes, most definitely.
You know, whether you're university or even down the line, you know, you come out and let the children see how artificial intelligence is integrated into what we do in tourism indeed, and the opportunities that flow therefrom, so that as they're choosing areas of study, they can see that how it connects with tourism. Yes, I'm doing technology, but it connects with tourism. Yes, I'm doing construction, but it connects with tourism. Yes, I'm doing hospitality, but it connects with tourism. Yes, I'm doing marketing, but it connects with tourism.
Even the creators.
Everything really connects beautifully in the industry known as tourism. And so we want you to see tourism not just as this thing that they do when it comes to marketing, but that we do all together, because we lend to how we host our guests to our island indeed. Part of which is what you do, Rihanna, as well. Talk to me a little bit about what you see for as the new things that the BHTA could be attempting to do to encourage more people to lie down in your properties. Because you sell nights. They sell nights, they don't sell days. How many nights are you having so to lie down in your property? So let's talk about that.
I guess we can explore, as Nicholas said, the AI. If you look at social media, TikTok is very popular. I would say to some of your members, get involved in that, because the average traveler is between the age of, let's say, like 20 to 35. So you know the demographic there, they're very into social media. So I would just tell the hotels, you know, get involved in the social media. Instagram, TikTok, just really get involved in that.
Are you attending SOTIC?
Yes, I am.
What are you looking forward to most?
I'm looking forward to interacting with the different leaders in the tourism industry. also to interact with the innovators as well, to see the new ideas that they would like to bring to the tourism industry. Just so that we can modernize the industry.
Do you have any regrets about setting your feet in tourism?
No, I don't.
I want to tell some young girls and young men who are watching about why they should seriously consider tourism, and not just see what they're doing as separate from tourism.
Okay, well, I would say tourism found me. I didn't find tourism. I saw the opportunity at the UWA KFL campus. I would just tell young persons, do the research. Do the research. Industry, as simple as something might seem, just do your research. Like, even if you're into agriculture plays a very, very important role in the tourism industry, because most of the hotels do rely on the farmers.
So yeah, do your research. Do your research. Get to know what's going on and see how you can benefit from the bounty that is tourism. Jasmine, what about for you?
She took everything I was about to say. Like, I was really about to say every single thing she said. Mainly research. I feel like that is very important. And also, yeah, that's actually what I was going to say.
Yeah, come have some fun. Right, Nicholas?
Yep, for sure. For me, I would say, ask questions. Just reach out, because persons are willing to help. So you could ask your teacher, you could ask anybody who's been in the industry. For persons who, again, think that tourism might not be for them, but, have an interest now after hearing all of this, feel free to reach out to the BHTA, to BTMI, to CTO. We're always willing to help, because we want persons to come into the industry, because we know how important it is, and we know how much the youth play a role in the tourism industry and the next generation coming up.
Indeed. Jasmine said she loved traveling. She just wanted to be a visitor.
Best of both worlds.
Now she's a part of administration of how we make things happen in tourism. And that's okay for you to have that feeling. If you just want to be a traveler, you want to be a traveler. But I'm telling you, the bug will bite, because now you see how it works. And when you get to know it like Jasmine and Nicholas and Rihanna have, you will get to see that we can all play our part significantly in tourism. And this is all supported by the BHTA, the BTMI, and the CTO, indeed. I mean, those are just letters I'm calling, I know, but you know the work that they do. And so I want to encourage you to show up for the State of the Tourism Industry Conference at the Hilton Hotel. First and second are open to all of us.
First and second, the Innovation Hub is there. And we're going to also have a few other members displaying some items as well.
Indeed. Let me show up. Let's do this. Let's really give our full support to tourism, because, tourism truly is our lifeblood. And that slogan still says, it's our business. Let's play our part. Indeed, and you've been playing your part so well as young people. The possibilities of young people are so real for you. I didn't have it in my youth, but nonetheless, they show you that your courses of study, whatever it is, integrates very, very well into tourism. So don't think that you have to only follow one particular path. Tourism takes you many, many diverse paths as well. So thank you, Nicholas.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Rihanna. Looking forward to seeing each of you at SOTIC.
Yes.
Right, Miss Actress Jasmine. Okay, great. We were looking forward to seeing all of you attending the State of the Tourism Industry Conference as well at the Hilton Hotel. This is going to be phenomenal. Thank you all. Morning Barbados, as the rains descend here at the CBC in the Pine, takes a break. We're back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Schold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Schold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Schold, a look into the future.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's take a look at news now. Strict measures are in place to ensure criminals or other unwanted people do not sneak into Barbados under the guise of the free movement of Caricom nationals regime, which officially starts next Wednesday. Minister of Home Affairs and Information Wilfred Abrams is giving Barbadians the assurance that criminals with records will be flagged before they even get here. He was addressing a Barbados Labour Party's Christchurch East and South Branch joint meeting on the weekend, and he said free movement will not be free for all. Anesta Henry has a report.
Barbadians who are fearful criminals will rush to the island when Barbados joins 3 other Caricom states to implement free movement of their nationals from October 1st have nothing to worry about. This assurance is coming from Minister of Home Affairs and Information Wilfred Abrams. He says part of this managed migration captured in the draft immigration legislation is making it easier for desired people to call Barbados their home. But Minister Abrams says criminals are usually stopped and sent back on the next flight to where they came from.
If you are a known drug dealer in your country and you come here, you'll be stopped at the border and said, you are not a permitted person. Go back. If you do not have those strikes against you, if you are not subject to deportation order, you're not flagged as a person who's prohibited. If you got a conviction, if they suspect you're involved in narcotics trafficking, if they suspect that you're involved in insurgent activities, whatnot, if you're on a watch list, right? Once you're not one of them people, then come and work, come and stay, come and enjoy yourself, go and come again.
And Minister Abrams is also issuing the reminder that only Barbadians cannot be denied entry.
The only body who has a right as of right to come into Barbados is a citizen of Barbados. That's the only person. Everybody else is subject to permission from the country. So even the persons who are coming in on the free movement, that's St. Vincent, Belize, Dominica, right? And Barbados is the fourth country. Yes, you can come if you are an acceptable person.
Those who will be allowed to enter Barbados under this new arrangement will have a right to live and operate in Barbados as a Bajan would. They will also be allowed to bring their families once they too are acceptable individuals.
We have a reciprocal arrangement. If a Bajan decides to pick up and go to Dominica, the same courtesies will extend to the Bajan. If, however, you breach our laws while you're here, you'll be deported. And you can't come back until that deportation order is lifted.
According to the Caricom Secretariat, representatives from Barbados, Belize, Dominica, and the St. Vincent and the Grenadines met on Thursday, September 18, 2025, to further coordinate, update, and discuss steps towards full free movement come October 1st, 2025. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
Well, yesterday marked 70 years since Hurricane Janet struck Barbados on September the 22nd, 1955, as a Category 3 hurricane with winds of 120 miles an hour, causing widespread devastation. That hurricane left thousands of Barbadians homeless and affected many more. 92-year-old Anita Daniel, who was one of those impacted, has lasting memories of that system that will remain as long as she lives.
70 years ago, Anita Daniel was a married 22-year-old mother of a 2.5-year-old son and a 9-month-old daughter when Hurricane Janet wreaked havoc on the island. And like so many other Barbadians who experienced it, Miss Daniel remembers that life-changing event as though it happened just yesterday.
The night before Jeanette, there was a prize fight on Rocky Marciana and Archie Moore. I don't know if you know, but Barbadians, both men and women, we were hooked on listening to prize fight on rediffusion. So the fight ended about 1:30, and we went upstairs to bed, my husband and I, and then the national anthem came on about 2:30 and woke us up because we turned the radio on to the limit so that my husband would be able to wake up early the next morning.
Miss Daniel and her husband rushed downstairs and drew closer to the radio. They heard the announcement that a great storm was approaching the island, arriving in a matter of hours. Then their phones started ringing. Family members were calling to reaffirm the news about Janet's pending arrival.
And about 11 o'clock, this terrible noise of wind. I've never heard anything like that in my entire life. It was not just a moaning sound. The whole house was shaking. And then there was knocks at the door. We lived in Rogers Road, Government Hill. And the people's houses in Back Ivy, as soon as they lost their houses, they were coming by my house. Eventually we had either 11 or 12 men and women sitting on the floor. And my maid and I, we cooked for them.
The wind was so strong the house was rocking. The roots of a big bright fruit tree destroyed a section of the back of the house. The flaps in the windows disappeared and the debris started flying into the house.
And we were busy moving the chairs up and down and feeding the people who were staying by us. So about 4 o'clock, the wind died down and people started moving. And then, to our surprise, the wind came in the other direction, and it was like stronger than the day before.
Ms. Daniel says the days, weeks, and months following Hurricane Janet was a sad time for Barbadians. No water or electricity for 3 months. Her family had to make do with 3 oil lamps. Her maid lived with her for 4 months. Her house was destroyed. That's one of the things that has also stayed with her, helping other families weather that storm. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
The Barbados National Culinary Team trained for months using feedback from last year's Taste of the Caribbean to improve and innovate while highlighting Barbados culture and cuisine. Rakina Curtin, Barbados chef competitors, said the team, which is sponsored by the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, is proud to defend its Taste of the Caribbean title at home. She was speaking during a media update ahead of the competition, which comes off in November.
It's truly an honor to sit here before you today as part of the team that brought home the gold for Taste of the Caribbean 2024. Winning this prestigious competition was not just a victory for us, but a culmination of months of intense training, dedication, and passion for our craft. Being part of the culinary team has not only shaped who we are as chefs, but has had a profound impact on our career.
Vaughn Cummings, a team manager and head coach, reflected on the team's training and achievements.
We have a great formula. It worked last year with the team that we built. It's just, and I always say you're as good as your last competition. But we are definitely drilling down every day at training. Myself and Willis, we're just trying to be as hard as possible because we have been in it. So we try to give them that advice. But I think that the formula we had for last year worked great. We're going to continue that formula this year. We just changed a couple things in terms of the strategy, in terms of the whole culinary aspect of it. Can't go into too much detail, but I think that we pretty good on that part.
Well, if youth cricket is to serve as a cornerstone for the sports development in Barbados, the island's cricket systems must be revitalized. That's the message from Calvin Hope, president of the Barbados Cricket Association, as he addressed the topic, the impact of cricket on Barbados from a youth perspective, during a webinar hosted by the St. James Regathering Committee. Hope emphasized that while cricket has created commercial and career opportunities, greater focus is needed on strengthening club structures, establishing quality standards and best practices, and implementing sustainable programs in schools to ensure the long-term growth of the game.
To bring our cricket in line and bring the opportunities to the fore for our players, we have to reset and we have to get back all of the systems working together and working for the best, being the best. So in a school, you want the games master, you want the principal, you want the environment there to be doing all the things. The kids prepared, equipment, good coaching, good discipline for the game.
That's a look at news till now. We'll have more news coming up at noon. Morning Barbados is back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Schold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Schold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Schold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
16 past 7 o'clock now. I did tell you at the beginning of the show that tomorrow starts the annual Construction and Design Conference, to which we are all invited, but industry professionals particularly are also invited. And joining me right now from the TVET Council is their Senior Technical Officer, even though he's acting, he's the Senior Technical Officer, Dario Walcott, and he's brought along from Sherwin Williams, the Architectural Account Executive for the Caribbean in Omar Mohammed. Gentlemen, morning. Welcome.
Thank you.
Dario, start with you. Perspective.
Right.
What's happening?
On the eve of the Barbados Annual Construction and Design Conference 2025, 3-day conference this year, starting tomorrow, September 24th, until the 26th. We have, for the first time ever, the Construction Open Day, which Sherwin Williams will be a part of. And that's an opportunity for industry professionals, the do-it-yourself, the maintenance people, everyone to come out and see the latest in technology. On Thursday, day 2, we have the conference continues, but we have a career showcase as well. And that career showcase will be opened by Her Excellency, the Most Honorable Dame Sandra Mason, President of Barbados. And we have students from the Barbados Community College, Samuel Chapman Prescott Institute of Technology, and the Barbados Vocational Training Board. We have 2 schools. We have College and Parry, and the law school will be there.
My school is going to be there. Good.
There, you should be there too, Pearson. And on Friday, day 3, it continues. At the end of the conference, persons will receive a digital badge, an e-certificate that would contribute to them getting their continuous professional development units.
This is so good. This is really, really good. And that's only on day 1 and day 2. Then day 3.
Yeah, so day 3, the conference concludes on day 3, and then there's a networking and networking session in the afternoon, so everyone can come together after the conference, have a chat, discuss the latest in the industry, get to know each other. And then day 4, the dinner and awards, the big showdown where we recognize those important people in the construction and design industry in Barbados.
All right, so days 1 and 2 are open to all of us, generally.
So day 1, the construction open day is open to everyone.
Right.
The conference is a paid event, but the construction open day is free.
Which is tomorrow. Tomorrow is absolutely free. In the afternoon on the next day, it's the children who are allowed to come through. And then for other people who are industry practitioners who really want to get the latest and to rub shoulders and to talk to each other and build together.
Yes.
And for that, do they need to register?
Yes, so you go to tvetcouncil.com.bb and you register for the conference itself. You can register for 1 day, you can register for all 3 days. I advise you to register for all 3 days, because also on day 2, when there's a career showcase at Sandals, the conference participants will be doing a tour of historic Bridgetown to see the designs and gain some inspiration from that and how those buildings were conceptualized and so on. So we have that on day 2 for the conference participants. So tvetcouncil.com.bb, you register. You pay online as well, so the opportunity that you can pay online, and then you can also purchase your tickets for the dinner and awards.
All right. And remember, this all happens at the Sandals Royal.
Yes.
Go.
In Maxwell. You got it? Maxwell Christchurch.
Yes. You come up Maxwell Road from the Top Rock roundabout.
Yeah.
You're going to pass Lyndhurst. You'll pass and you'll come all the way up. Look on your left hand there, there's a pole. There's a pole at the turn you have to make that says Maxwell Coast Road. So you look for that sign and you see Maxwell Coast Road. You make that right turn. You've just left the Top Rock roundabout, remember, and you're heading down to Sandals Royal, which is on your right. The car park is on your left. Sherwin Williams is going to be there as part of the construction opportunity tomorrow.
Yes.
So talk to me a little bit about Sherwin Williams and what Sherwin Williams is bringing to this conference, the Construction Design Conference.
So, to be honest, we met with Dario and his team perhaps 4 years ago, when just after the first online conference, just post-COVID. And it was not a difficult decision to come on board, because it aligns very much with our philosophies as well. Sherwin Williams being over close to 160 years old and a global company.
Yes, indeed.
Saw the potential in this initiative for Barbados, in that what Dario and his team is trying to do through TVET and the Lifelong Learning Council is raise a standard to a global level. And so, as I said before, to be a part of this was not a difficult decision, because this is a nation-building exercise. It is an initiative that is going to pay dividends to everyone in the long run. And it is our hope that this that has started in Barbados would extend to the Caribbean. Because I think, and I'm not quite sure if it's the same in Barbados, but covering the Caribbean, I tend to see where the design community, in the design community, there's a disconnect with the role that they play. And that is very unfortunate, because these are the people who can affect our lives directly. So we believe that there must be greater integration as we develop and move forward. And if we look at any developed nation or countries that are on that growth path or trajectory, their design professionals are totally immersed and involved. I mean, they have the potential or the power to affect our very mood. How we feel about our nation. The way we walk, the way we perceive the built environment, how that makes us feel inside. They have the ability to change a mood instantly.
Indeed so. And so, Sherwin Williams, we know you guys as paint specialists, generally. You know, we understand what you can do and to effect the change of our moods by our surfaces. What is the latest in technology that you're bringing to the construction conference tomorrow?
So, we have a lot to offer. So sometimes it can be a bit challenging to identify what we want to highlight. So we look at what is, I wouldn't say popular in Barbados, or what is trending. And we have certain systems. For instance, we have a line called Loxon, and there are different components to that line. And one of the highlights of that line is a self-cleaning product that cleans itself when it rains.
Interesting.
So it keeps your facility, the exterior, fresher, cleaner for a longer period, reducing or lengthening the maintenance cycle, which reduces costs. And it's not only, that is part, it's geared towards sustainability, where the globe is focusing. That's the focus of the global community, and innovation. A lot of technology and
has gone into
it. Research and development.
Because we're into bleaching through the sun. And so a lot of people also spend a significant amount of money in maintaining their property because of that.
Yes.
And your products, you're bringing and introducing us to products that would have that technology built in.
Well,
yes.
If we get into the technicality of it, when you're selecting products to deal with thermal energy transfer, you really have to look intently at the colors that you select, because that will dictate what is absorbed and what is reflected. And then you look at the mode, the model that carries that technology. And that's where you get the durability and the ability to withstand the environment.
Which is what we're talking about. And that's part of the conference tomorrow. Tomorrow you have that opportunity to come have these conversations with Sherwin Williams, come have these conversations with other industry partners who are going to be there as well. And so that starts tomorrow. What time?
9 a.m.
9 in the morning. Sanders Royal.
Yes.
We show up and we get to have conversation. We get to taste. And I said taste, but you know what I mean. Try, experience, see for yourself, touch and feel, and then you make your decisions as well. I'm sure that business will obtain tomorrow indeed. But this conference runs for the next 4 days, and it's open to memberships. You have to register. Memberships, you have to register. But tomorrow, Barbadians, you are all, whether you're into construction or not, you're just a do-it-yourselfer and you want to see the very latest, show up. at Sandals Royal on Maxwell Coast Road, just off Maxwell Road, and you can be a part of it all indeed. I want to thank you, Dario. Thank you, Omar, as well. And I'm wishing you a successful construction and design conference.
Truly appreciate it. Thank you.
We're back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Schold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution...
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 29 minutes after 7 o'clock. We're going to talk about Q in the community. I thought we were going to share with folks what's coming up. But nonetheless, here we go. Let's do that first, and then we'll talk to Tyrone Roach.
CBC and Q in the community, the London edition returns, welcoming Bajans and friends of Barbados to this unique event on Saturday, 4th of October 2025. That's right, on the 4th of October, all roads lead to the Oakington Manor School in Wembley, HA8 6NS. In the main hall will be Barbados' finest DJ Scotty, DJ Lappy, Positive Sounds, plus the Tropical Band. In the Silver Lounge will be DJ Terry Bubbler, Mark Professor, Rocky Boss, and Corey. What going on, Kimberly?
Guests are also invited to join the line dancing workshop or listen to a live broadcast from CBC Radio Barbados, Q100.7 FM with me, Kimberly. Get your tickets now. Purchase in advance or at the door. This event offers 2 dance rooms, step-free access, and complimentary parking.
Discounts are available for all group bookings.
Attendees can enjoy arts, craft, food stalls, and a dedicated children's courtyard. ensuring an enjoyable experience regardless of the weather. For more details and tickets, visit qlondon25.eventbrite.co.uk.
Info line is 07391 337 908. Proceeds from the raffle will be donated to various charitable causes in Barbados.
So that's what's happening next weekend in the United Kingdom in London. You heard Big Ben chiming away indeed. Tyrone Roach is the organizer of the London edition of Q in the Community. He joins me now. Good morning to Tyrone.
Good morning to you and good afternoon to me.
Well, hello to you wherever you are. Clearly, good afternoon to you where you are. Are you ready? Yes. Are you ready to host just those in the UK, but also those from Barbados to be a part of Q in the Community of the London edition?
I think we're just about ready. It's in the last 2 weeks, then it gets a bit frenetic because people start asking for tickets and stuff like that. But yeah, I think we're there.
All right. So let's break this down. I know we've been seeing just a little bit of a snapshot of what happens, the event that's happening there. It happens on the 4th of October. That's next Friday, Barbados time for us. But that's, what time does it start in the UK?
So it starts at 1 o'clock, and we try to do Q a little bit different to Barbados in the sense that we was held in a school, and we have two rooms, and because of the weather conditions, because you never know what time the weather is going to be, what's going to be like. So we host it in two rooms, so the main gym and the dining hall, and we have all the stalls outside. So if it's a nice sunny day, most people end up outside. But on inclement weather, everybody just inside. So we cover all parts of the arena.
I think a lot of people already know where Oakington House is. So those in the UK know how to get to that venue indeed. But when we're there, you have 2 dance floors. Excitement about that. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Right. So the main hall is where we try to follow the traditional Q menu of the ballroom dancing, the line dancing. And also, we're going to bring back the karaoke this year. But we also have what we do to Q in London is give ourselves a main artist. So this year, the main artist will be like a local tropical band made up of Barbadians. So they're going to perform a 5-piece set. They're going to do a set. And our main guest from Barbados is DJ Scotty. Whilst in the Silver Lounge, we allowed people to book their meals in advance or have reserved seats and also have dinner as well if they want to. Because what we have with Q in London, a lot of younger people bring their parents, and so as to secure a seat, they book the lunch in the Silver Lounge, and it's a complete Barbadian menu.
So the book the parents, have the parents. Parents
we even get
right there. Wait right there, and I'm going downstairs to dance. That's basically what's happening there indeed. And so, because the typical thing for us in Barbados at Q in the Community is we're playing dominoes, we're dancing, we're eating, we're drinking, we're having a really good time. And so let's talk a little bit about the menu that you're sharing for those in the Silver Lounge.
Well, it's traditional rice and peas, chicken. You have a choice of either mai or flying fish and fish cakes. And I think the sweet is usually sweet bread, but you have a choice of between lamb stew, because we do stews, on my and a vegetable option as well.
All the things we love. All the things we love indeed. And so this
we also have a bar. And we also have a bar in the room which has all various assortment of rums from Barbados.
Yes.
And we get a Banks beer like that, because this is unique for Barbadians in London to get a taste of Barbados. So this is a place that people hate to get the Banks beer, the Morby, whatever. They'll hate to queue, not only for the dancing, but the networking and meet and pick friends that they didn't
I'm sure.
realize are in Barbados.
There's nothing like button up on another Bajan in a foreign land. You just feel at home instantly. And that's what this Q in the Community, the London edition, offers for Barbadians up there in that part of the diaspora, to be able to come together at Oakington House. And while you're there, you are engaging in dancing and celebrating and just having a really good time as a community of Barbadians. And so we want to encourage you to go to online. You have to purchase your tickets online, right?
Yes, online at eventbrite.co.uk and Q in the Community 25.
And somebody may ask, but when we go to Q in the Community in Barbados, we don't pay. Why are we doing this?
Yeah. Well, you see, in London, we have to pay for everything.
Mm.
We can't get a premises this big for nothing, because we're not a charity, and we don't own any buildings, so
Right.
we have to pay for everything. And the other thing is, we don't get the sponsorship. I mean, you guys in Barbados, you get the sponsorship. We don't get the sponsorship over here. We don't even get sponsorship from Barbados, and that's the other aspect of it that we would like to have more of, sponsorship from Barbados companies, because it's an excellent opportunity for Barbadian companies to showcase their products in the United Kingdom to a captured audience, and that's what we need more of in Q in London. More sponsorship, and then we can probably keep the price at a reasonable economical
Right.
level.
But you're also planning to give back.
Although we do it at the moment anyway.
But you're also planning to give back to charitable causes as well.
Yes, and so we have been donated to charity. Every event we donate to a charitable cause in Barbados. So for 2 years we were sending hampers back to Barbados to be distributed around Christmas time to the Drax Hall community.
Mm-hmm.
And last year we donated hampers to St. Philip the Less Church in St. Peter, and they gave them to all the shut-ins. I think it's the word you all use, is shut-ins, people that can no longer come to church. So
Right.
they were given hampers as well. So that's what we do with our money. Depends on the situation.
That's good. I see part of what you're doing this year as well in the Q London edition is you're having line dancing workshop. Why did you decide to have that one? And really, talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, you see, one of the draws of Q in Barbados is the line dancing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Albert Seal, his team came out last year, and they did an impromptu line dancing session and had the whole floor teaching them to do line dancing Barbados style. So this year we decided, well, let's add it to the official menu.
Yes.
And he and a section of his team are coming up, and we're gonna give him a spot to do the line dancing workshop. So that when Scotty comes on and plays his music, everybody will be doing it in line together, syncing together.
Yes, indeed. So line dancing. I mean, there's nothing like a line dance, indeed. And, you know, at Q in the community, that seems like all they do, line dance. And that's good because it keeps people actively involved in a community activity that is really great for socializing, indeed. And so, just so that folks in the UK know, they need to show up to Oakington House for what time?
From 1 o'clock, the doors are open.
1 o'clock, United Kingdom time. Which is 6 o'clock Barbados time. No.
Very good.
No, it's not.
No, it's the other way around.
No, yeah, the other way
It's the
around.
other way around.
Take away 5 hours. You're 5 or 4 hours?
Yeah.
How far ahead?
It's 5 at this time.
5. So if it's
5 at
1 o'clock your time, that means that I'll take away 1, that's 12. There's 7 o'clock Barbados time in the morning. And then our broadcast on Q100.7 FM will start at 3 o'clock your time, which makes it 9 o'clock, roughly 9 o'clock our time.
Jeez, I didn't realize it was so early, you know.
Listen. Yeah, y'all on the wrong
really
clock. You guys on a different clock. Yeah. So it's all of that we need to be mindful of. But you need to keep listening to Q100.7 FM because we'll be bringing the broadcast live there on radio on the 4th of October for the special edition of Q, the London edition of Q in the community. Remember, you need to go online and book your ticket. You need to book your tickets now. You can also pay at the door, right?
Right. A bit more at the door, though.
You pay at the door. You can pay at the door. And so remind folks how they can go online to get their ticket.
You can go online at Eventbrite and qcommunity25.eventbrite.co.uk and book your ticket there. You can book group bookings there as well. And there you go. And also there's also tickets from certain members of the community. You know, there are groups in the community who are also selling tickets, so come directly to the info line. Right. I just want to point out one of the lovely aspects of Q in London is to see a room full of older people who can no longer dance or in the wheelchairs and stuff, but being a part of the whole event is one of the most wonderful things you can see, because they sit there and they listen to the old music and they engage with the whole event.
they enjoy themselves, and that's what it's all about indeed. And so we shall be packing Oakington Manor, Wembley indeed, and we want all of you in the diaspora in the United Kingdom to get your tickets as fast as possible. Get out there, come inside, have a really, really good time, because it is an activity that is not to be missed. You watch it online from the United Kingdom, you see the fun we have in Barbados, you listen to it on Q100.7 FM, online on cbc.bb, and you hear the excitement that a lot of people do have at the Cube in the community activity. And now it's coming to London. You get a chance to enjoy it indeed with some of those DJs whose names you're seeing splashed across your screen. Of course, DJ Scotty is a specially invited DJ from Barbados. He'll be there. You'll have a chance to learn how to line dance in the line dancing workshop. That's with Albert, and you can be a part of that as well. But there's so much more, because Kimberly will be there. Kimberly will bring all of it live to you on Q100.7 FM. But don't miss an opportunity to be a part of the Barbadian community. You don't have to be Barbadian to be a part of it. So for those of the United Kingdom who are not Barbadian, but who just want to follow the fun, then you follow it to Oakley Manor. That's where it's going to, Oakington Manor, is where it's going to be on the 4th of October. And we want you to turn up in your numbers indeed. Tyrone, I really want to thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say that we need to, we'll also be remembering King Scorpion, because he was the first person that came when we started Q in the community. So we do a special remembrance for
Well done.
Scorpion.
Well done. A good guy indeed. Thank you, Tyrone. I wish you success with the activity coming up indeed on the 4th. You're very welcome, and have a good morning, sir. All right, Morning Barbados, we give you one last look to see what to expect when you head out to Q in the community, and then we'll take a break. Back in a moment.
CBC and Q in the community, the London edition returns, welcoming Bajans and friends of Barbados to this unique event on Saturday, 4th of October 2025. That's right, on the 4th of October, all roads lead to the Oakington Manor School in Wembley, HA8 6NS. In the main hall will be Barbados' finest DJ Scotty, DJ Lappy, Positive Sound, plus the Tropical Band. In the Silver Lounge will be DJ Terry Bubbler, Mark Professor, Rocky Boss, and Corey.
Guests are also invited to join the line dancing workshop or listen to a live broadcast from CBC Radio Barbados, Q100.7 FM with me, Kimberly. Get your tickets now. Purchase in advance or at the door. This event offers 2 dance rooms, step-free access, and complimentary parking.
Discounts are available for all group bookings.
Attendees can enjoy arts, craft, food stalls, and a dedicated children's courtyard, ensuring an enjoyable experience regardless of the weather. For more details and tickets, visit qlondon25.eventbrite.co.uk.
Info line is 07391 337 908. Proceeds from the raffle will be donated to various charitable causes in Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Schold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Schold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Schold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
The economy of a country can be likened to the engine room of a factory, the place where the pistons stroke and the wheels turn. And, as with a factory, the end result of this exercise is a product. In the case of a factory, it might be an item of clothing, or a food, or some other product that make our lives satisfying. With an economy, the product is the aggregate of all the goods and services produced in the country, and it's identified by its monetary value as the gross domestic product, GDP. Gross meaning the sum total, and domestic meaning within your own environment. Economic terms can be difficult for the average Joe, but if we are to understand the workings of the national economy, we must have a grasp of these terms.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 12 minutes now to 8 o'clock as we continue this week, the International Week of the Deaf, looking at ways of including our members of our community who are deaf or hard of hearing. Today, we get to understand a little bit more about sign language because today we mark International Day of Sign Languages. The theme, no sign language rights, no human rights. And we're happy again to have with us as guests this morning, interpreting for those who are deaf or hard of hearing, Paula Medford, who you see here on TV8, of course. Lionel Smith is back. He is the president of the Barbados Horizon Deaf Charity. And with him, across from me, is his public relations officer, Dario Nightingale. To all of you, good morning. No, let's do this. Show me on TV, show me on TV, show me on TV. Roll. Good morning. Yeah.
Good morning.
I got it right indeed. And so let's talk a little bit, because yesterday, Lionel, we were talking about your organization, and maybe I got a few things wrong. I want you to tell me a little bit more about Barbados Horizon Deaf Charity and with whom you are affiliated.
So I'll explain it a little clearer. The BHDC, we have the word charity in our name, but it's actually an association. So that was really to have it more business oriented. So this is really an association for the deaf. We didn't have that for the deaf previously. So that name was available, established as a business.
What is it that the association does for deaf people?
Well, we have above us, we are under the umbrella of the BDC, Barbados Council for the Disabled. And there are various organizations under that umbrella. Any needs, they provide that. Arranging conferences, discourses.
And to give the help. But there's some things about the organization, Dara, this is where I'm coming to you now, about the organization as it relates to how we interact with people who are deaf or, and I leave it there. We call them mute. We call them all sorts of different terms. What would be the correct way that we refer to people who are deaf?
Thank you for that question. I'd like to provide a little clarity. It's important to consider the feelings of the deaf and to use the correct words. So when we speak about deaf with the big D or hard of hearing, there's also deaf with the small d. These are important. We don't want to say deaf and dumb. That gives the impression that the individual cannot speak. Or we say hearing impaired. That gives the impression that their hearing needs to be fixed. That individual may be fully deaf, or also the use of the word mute. It gives the impression that the individual cannot speak. They simply cannot voice the way hearing individuals do. So when we speak of deaf with the big D, so the way that a deaf individual would speak or vocalize, it simply sounds different to the way hearing people speak, but there is nothing wrong with our vocal cords.
Because I know Dario would have interned here at the CBC, and every once in a while I'd run into him and I'd try to learn some more sign language, try to have that open bridge of communication with Dario. And that's the whole point. You remember. And so that's important, I think, when it comes to how we relate to people in the deaf community, that people who are deaf or hard of hearing are just like us. And so do not be afraid or stigmatize them into thinking that they are so scary that we ought not to engage with, because they do wonderful things like anybody else. And so let's talk a little bit now about what for you today means, Lionel, with the theme, no sign language, no human rights.
So for the World Federation of the Deaf, this is the first year that we are partnering, that BHGC is partnering with the World Federation of the Deaf. And under this theme, it's a very important theme, because this is our language. This is the way that we communicate with our hands. And if there is no interpreter, how would we be able to interact with you? She has to voice for us. The interpreter has to voice for us. And that is so important. Communication is so important for anything that we're going to be doing.
And so it's important that because if we knew the language, we wouldn't have to have someone voice for you. We can hear you through that language that you share. And so you think it's important that schools and families learn the language?
Yes. Very important. Because the deaf need to be able to communicate. A number of families don't know sign language, and it can be a challenge for the deaf. But if they know how to sign, imagine if you knew sign, like you sign, you welcome us this morning, good morning, there would be no need for an interpreter. You wouldn't need an interpreter. We'd be able to converse on our own. Imagine that. Imagine if the tables were turned. You would come to understand how the deaf feel.
I've just been chastised. I love it, indeed. And so from your perspective, Dario, let's talk about opportunities for individuals and groups and families to learn sign language? What's available that we can actually practice the language?
So hearing parents with deaf children, they need to be courageous and try to learn from their child the signs of things the deaf can't hear. But we communicate with our hands visually. It's important that parents learn how to sign also. The teachers need to have good qualifications and not speak to the children, but they need to communicate with them, making eye contact, helping them not to have to struggle to understand what is not their language. It's important to help them to understand and appreciate their deaf identity and understand the importance of communicating via sign. Because God has given us our hands, and this language is so beautiful. There are 300 different sign languages around the world. It's really beautiful. It's important that schools, business places, all encourage the use of sign language. You can begin with something basic, but that will help the deaf to feel comfortable and lessen the struggle that we deal with and the frustrations that we encounter.
So agree with you. So that I dispel my ignorance, teach me, I'll start with the alphabet. If you can teach me the alphabet. So I want to try it, and I hope you'll be patient with me.
That's fine. I will teach you something simple. I'll teach you Barbados.
Okay. Fingers together like this. This is Barbados. Okay. Good. So, so spell it for me now. B A R B A D O S. B A R B B A D D O S. S. Barbados.
Very good.
Yes, I can do it. I can do it. So it's good morning, B A R B A D D O S.
Very good, Pearson.
At least I've got that right. And that, I think, opens up the door for all of us to learn, not just how to spell the words alone, but to have that conversation. And as you can see from Dario and from Lionel as well, they're excited because suddenly I'm connecting with them in a very real way, in the way they speak. And so it's important for all of us as individuals, as organizations, to open up our hearts and ready our minds to be able to learn the language so we have meaningful connection, not through a third party, but one-on-one with people who are deaf or hard of hearing. Remember, they're not deaf mute or dumb. They're just deaf or hard of hearing. And that's an okay term to use within this context indeed. So today, as much as you can, register for a course in sign language. Begin the process of having that open communication with people who are deaf or hard of hearing. They want to hear you, you want to hear them. And so together as a community, we are building a more compassionate space within which all of us can coexist in a very meaningful way. I want to thank both of you today, and you, Paula, as well, for joining me. That's Colin Smith, who is the president of the Barbados Horizon Deaf Charity, and Dario Nightingale, their public relations officer, and Paula Medford, our interpreter this morning. All the best and much success to you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Gotcha. All right. Folks, that's it for today. I thank you so much for joining me. And I hope to have yourself a lovely today. My little crew joins me. Wish you the very same. Be it the will of the Lord. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.